Hey guys, Monday, 3 hours zone 2, doing TT work today, pretty standard now. Yeah, really working on turtling my head, so kind of got a few things to cue when I'm in position now, so be a bit forward on the saddle so there's space at the back of the saddle. Try and have vertical biceps, push my upper back upwards, and then it's turtling my neck inwards so that my head is lower than my upper back, and then try and sight through, like just over the top of the extensions, like through my hands sort of thing, which I think is a pretty good position to train in, so that come my next time trial I'm hopefully a lot more aero. Feeling recovered after the weekend, like took it easy on Sunday, but yeah, back to feeling normal on now, so get my 3 hours zone 2 done today, then session Tuesday, Thursday. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, get the bulk of my training for the week, and then if I'm knackered at the weekend, it's not too big a deal. Productive amount of CT work there, I'd say, and just topping it up for 3 hours. It's Tuesday, got a threshold session today. It's 2 by 24 minutes with 11 minutes rest, and doing that in the TT position, so really long TT effort. So see how I get on with that, see what the power is looking like. Even though I calibrated my kicker core power meter, I feel like it's still over reading. Just doing my warm up, doing like some tempo, some threshold, some VO2 max as like a step, and yeah, I feel like because I've got the kicker core power on my whoosh, and yeah, it looks like it's overreading by like 50 watts or something. So that's a bit weird, but can't spin it down mid-session, so I'll just see what the power looks like at the end. Trust the 4 eyes over what I'm seeing on screen, because intuitively it seems a lot more accurate, and then see if I can spin it down, because I updated all the firmware last week and I thought it would be better, but maybe not. 6 max sprints, and then I've got 3 by 20 second sprints, so a lot longer sprints, so see how I get on with that. Long sprints really take it out of you. Feel good though, probably about 900 watts for 20 seconds for all 3 of them maybe. Not too sure, just have to have a look afterwards, but felt good. But yeah, heart rate really comes up and everything's burning by the end. Then it takes 7 minutes later, I'm still feeling the fatigue of the effort, like my heart's still slowing down, like the stroke volume sort of thing. Heart rate's down, but blood pressure's obviously up. Yeah, easy spin, and then move on to the threshold effort. So it's weird because pretty sure the kicker's like in range for zone 1 and zone 2. Kicker seems to be given normal power, and same for the max sprints. Like the power's about right, but it's only for the tempo and threshold stuff where it just seems completely out of spec. So that's a bit strange, but I'll have to have a look at the file afterwards and see if it's as bad as it was last week, and if there's anything I can do to fix it, like spinning down the flywheel a few times or whatever. Really, it's a big sweat up that one. Bloody hell. Really strong though. 340 for both of them compared to 320 for my 24-minute efforts last week. So yeah, really increasing the efficiency. It's only able to get into the low 160 BPM last week, but getting up to 170, which is on my threshold heart rate. So yeah, that was really strong. Happy with that. But yeah, absolutely dripping, mate. Whew. Max fan ain't enough. Glutes really burning on those longer efforts, but yeah, just get used to it with time. Okay, it's Wednesday, doing 3 hours zone 2 and time in TT position. Just finished my 20 by 4 minutes, and again, really working on burying my head inwards to have a really good profile of the body that's hopefully a lot more aero. So yeah, just topping up to 3 hours now. My whoosh was crashing again this morning, so just controlling the kicker from the Wahoo. Hi guys, Thursday, got TT threshold session today, so it's 4 by 12 minutes with 5 minutes recovery. So yeah, had a good threshold session on Tuesday, so and that was a really long effort, the 2 by 24. So see how we go with some slightly shorter efforts. Just finishing my warm up, doing my seated sprints. So done some couple of 1300 watt seated sprints, good. And I've got 3 20-second sprints to be getting on with. Those are really hard. On like trying to just stay afloat above 1000 watts. Managed to hit a peak of 1000 watts on Tuesday for the 20-second sprint. So see if I can exceed that today. Yeah, and then easy gym this evening. Rest day on Friday, and then back on the circuit on Saturday. Need to still making changes to the bike. Need to get some new brake cables. Just fiddling around with it, because it wasn't perfect at the weekend, but yeah, trying to get it up to scratch. And then the other bike is actually the group set's getting sent back to Shimano to try and diagnose what's wrong with it, because it's been at a shop for a couple of weeks and they did all the typical things that you're meant to do to try and fix it, and nothing seemed to work. So yeah, I don't know how long that will be, so might be racing on that bike for a while longer. Oh, those long sprints are hard work. Don't think they were as good as Tuesday, but still good to get them in the bank. I feel like a dead man. 20 minutes of noodling. I think I'm just about ready for my efforts. Once I start them, I'll be fine, but yeah, I feel so fatigued from those sprints. Just my heart is just like, no thanks, we're done today. Going strong, one more to go. Strong session, happy with that. Continuing to get, I mean, it's just to feel like I do that first effort and then try and sort of match the power. We'll go a little bit higher. But yeah, typically trending up across the week, so that's really nice to see. Getting really a lot more efficient in the TT position. Don't know how long that'll go on for, so I've got 2 more weeks left of this block, but then I'll be introducing some different stimuli to hopefully continue to elicit fitness gains. But yeah, happy with the progress so far. That's how much the trainer moved. Felt like I was pushing a little bit more with my left leg during some of those efforts to try and bring it into balance, but yeah, my right leg's obviously still quite a bit stronger. Once again, it's Friday and I'm working on the bike just the day before the race. Yeah, went to Decathlon, got some new parts because rear brake was seized. So yeah, got new outer cable, new inner cable sort of thing. Run that and I realised the brake caliper was seized, but I was able to take it apart and I've literally just put it back together. Seems to have done pretty well, so yeah, really springing back into place there. So really happy with how I've done it there. So taking it apart, kind of degreased the parts and re-lubricated them. Yeah, that's nice to make some good progress there for once. Just done a bit of riding on the rollers. I've lowered the saddle slightly, but yeah, the bike, the frame's definitely a bit too small for me compared to what the sort of positions I could get into on my TCR. Just not a chance getting into them on this frame because it's way too small. So like, what I get down to what feels like as aero as possible, and I feel like would have like a perfectly flat back on my TCR, but like the reach being too short on this bike means that I'm still quite bunched. So but yeah, it's the bike I've got, so gonna have to just deal with it, riding the bunch and not eat as much wind, because yeah, obviously not super aero on this setup because of being too small. But yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, feels it's riding better than it was last week. So need to remember to put the front wheel on the right way around. But now I've got the a rear brake that doesn't seize up, so that's also good. Yeah, just see how we go tomorrow. Hopefully I'm going to be doing 2 races to get more experience. Cat 4 only race at 9:30, then 12:15 would be the Cat 3-4. So I should be able to enter both on the day. And yeah, just get experience riding in the pack. Hopefully not be punished from my terrible position on this bike, but yeah, and then hopefully TCR's fixed as soon as possible. Group set's been sent back to Shimano for a warranty claim because they couldn't diagnose what was wrong with it, doing all the right things and nothing seemed to work. So yeah, I don't know how long that's going to be, but at least I have a bike for the time being, so I can race crits. And obviously I've got my time trial bike, so I can still train in the TT position and do time trials. So I mean, it all works out all right. Like racing in these lower categories, like yes, it's not ideal to be on this bike, but it shouldn't matter at the end of the day. I should be able to get loads of experience riding on whatever bike, really. So yeah, I'm really shouldn't be complaining at all. And just crack on tomorrow and try and do better than last week and stay in the pack for the whole race until the end, and then mince them all in the sprint. Rotated the handlebar, and I remember last weekend I didn't really feel like getting in the drops because the handlebars were kind of rotated a bit more, so the end of the drop was kind of here, just like immediately below the base bar. So yeah, I've rotated the handlebars so that the lever hoods are down and the hoods are a bit further back, so it's a lot more comfortable than the hoods, kind of the sort of position I had in my TCR. Definitely need to clean, degrease and copper slip those bolts, but they're fine for, I'm not going to do that tonight, so that's fine for the time being, and then I'll sort that out next week. And yeah, still things to work on with fixing up this bike. It's not perfect yet. It's good enough to ride for sure. I'm relatively happy with the position I've got on it. Like, I understand the limitations, but yeah. Up at 6 o'clock because my first race is at 9, so very early. And want to get some breakfast down me and make sure that's settled. Yeah, didn't sleep well at all. Really not much sleep, but it happens, and just gonna have to crack on with the day and see how it goes. Second race down. Slightly better than last week, I could say. I actually rode in the pack for 25 minutes and felt like I was actually moving really well in the pack. I'd move after it calmed down after the first couple of laps. The most surgy, I was kind of first 10 wheels and felt like I was like holding wheels nicely and yeah, just moving nicely in the pack. Then it just bunched up a bit and a wheel came a bit too close in front of me from my right, and I could have potentially swerved left and avoided it, but might have caused a crash going down like that. So yeah, clipped the wheel, went down, hit the deck. Someone hit me, came over me, hit me hard, and then he was pretty banged up, and like 8 or 9 of us went down in the crash. Me being the first one. But thankfully, like, shoulder hurts, hip hurts. We just have to. It doesn't look like anything's too bad, just a bit sore at the moment and very scratched up. But yeah, it happens. Yeah, it's not great. Avoid it if possible, but like I said, I potentially could have swerved left, but that could have caused a crash. So yeah. Everyone's been very nice. So I came with my mum today, so oh fuck, it would have been so bad if I was here by myself. Actually, that would have been awful. Yeah, so we're in a van, so nice and warm here. Just get changed.
Making a cup of tea now.
I'm just making a tea, so yeah. Yeah, get home, rest up, reassess tomorrow and what we're thinking. But yeah, take it in stride. Generally feel like I've probably come off quite well, so like in terms of how bad it could have been. So yeah,
Bike's okay,
bike looks fine. My ragtag jerry rigged bike is doing okay, but yeah, gonna put the phone down because my shoulder's fucking hurting.
Did you bring sandwiches?
I brought food, yeah. Handspray nasty. Right. I think the bike's generally okay. Just have a look when I get home. Saddle is broken though. come off the rails, popped out. Both the wheels are out of true, but can fix that when I get home. Hip and shoulder's pretty groggy and bruised, but you know, I think generally we're all not too bad. So yeah, try and wash off now in the shower, get all clean out the wounds. Feeling a bit better this morning, but still pretty bruised up. So like my hip's pretty bad, shoulder's pretty bad, and then my neck's really sore. So probably a little bit of whiplash. But yeah, gonna. I don't think I'm gonna ride today. Maybe a little bit indoors later if I'm feeling like it, just to test out what it feels like riding a bike again. But yeah, gonna sort out some stuff with the bike from issues from the weekend. So the wheels went out of true. So just gonna clean those off and then check all the spoke tension and hopefully bring that into alignment again. And then also the seat post. So. The saddle, so that's completely fucked. And I've got some other saddles. I'd be able to fit the other ones in. Yeah, clean off the rest of the bike. I mean, derailleur's still shifting, but it's got scratched up quite bad, but it's working. I mean, I think I need to get a long cage because there's loads of slack in the chain. If I was to try and ride in the little ring, there'd be so much slack in the chain, like that. I think it's probably because I need a medium or a long cage derailleur, whereas this is a short one. So yeah, works for crit racing, but oh, God, moving my arm. It'll do. Crack on with sorting out the wheels though. Checking the tension of the wheel. It's mainly on the drive side, so the side I came down on. So it's mainly these spokes that are out of alignment, and there's one spoke here that's, don't know if you can see it, it's bent. So just got a spare spoke, so gonna replace that. Now it's completely out of tension, so I might have been able to bring it into tension, but yeah, it's bent and I've got spares, so might as well switch it out. Replace the bent spoke. Managed to get nipple caught in the rim, so that took a while to get out. It was rattling around in there. Used like a paper flute through the valve hole and rotating it around on the bike. Managed to get it out thanks to this video. That worked all right. So yeah, just now I need to just try and tension the wheel and see if I can get it to be true again. Replacing that spoke seemed to, well, basically trued the wheel a good amount, but I had to adjust the tension because I used an older spoke from an old wheel. Had to use a slightly different tension to get it to be true. But yeah, it seems it's not perfect, but it's running pretty true now. It's only pulling a little bit to the non-drive side, so yeah, pretty happy with that, and that'll do. Move on to the other wheel now. Rear wheel was a lot easier to address. It actually wasn't too bad, the spoke tension. Now this spoke was very slightly dented and slight bend in it. You won't be able to pick that up at all. But yeah, just rather than having to replace that, I just tightened that up a bit and it trued out the wheel a bit more. So yeah, it's running. It wasn't too bad, to be honest, but now it's running even better than it was. So yeah, that's decent, and yeah, not too many casualties in terms of bike components from the weekend. Something to do to keep me occupied, because yeah, I might have been able to ride indoors today, but yeah, just yeah, shoulder and hip pretty bad, so no need to do that, and can get on with some other stuff instead.